oversee. Could it be the whole of opening wide?
John Taylor is best known as the original bass guitarist for the enormously popular British band Duran Duran, and more recently as the power behind Power Station. Now John Taylor has a solo single headed up the charts. It's called I Do What I Do from the new movie 9½ Weeks. John says for all the background vocals he may have not sung in the past, this really is his singing debut. It's also his debut as a video director. Let's take a look.
Do you look the way you wanted to look? Do you feel the way you wanted to feel? Are you happy now that we fantasize? I do what I do, hey, hey, I do what I do.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
Hot stuff.
Oh, well, you know, gives you something to do, doesn't it?
Why'd you wait so long to really start singing?
It was by default, actually. I never really meant to sing it. It started off as, it was another monster that got created. I didn't really mean it to be. It was going to be just a track for the soundtrack album, and it was going to be sung by Michael Debar, who I wrote the song with. And that didn't really work out. And we tried one or two other people, and as the producer of the record, I wasn't, you know, it wasn't working out how I wanted it. And I had an idea in my head how I wanted it to sound, and the guy that I was working with said, well, you know, you seem to know what you want, why don't you do it? And, you know, I had a few drinks and went on in there. But it's funny because, you know, to have been in front of a microphone for like the last 5 or 6 years, but I'd never actually sung on a record. So it was quite nerve-wracking, actually, and, you know, even though I've been doing it for a while. And,
Were you worried about it?
Yeah, I was.
About what people would think?
Oh, yeah, and I was thinking, what am I doing this for? I must be nuts, you know, I've got like, I can be very safe if I want to, you know, and just go back to playing the bass. What are you getting yourself in for this deep? But the hardest thing was to be objective about the performance and what was right or wrong about it, you know. But Jonathan, the guy I was working with, was very good about that, and now I'm quite happy with it, quite pleased.
Well, I'm curious how you got involved with the movie 9½ Weeks. It's controversial, based on a story about a sadomasochistic relationship. This is not a loaded question, but what made you want to decide to contribute a song?
I read about the film, actually, a couple of times, and I was intrigued by it. I was interested in Mickey Rourke and Kim Basinger and Adrian Lyne, what he was doing. And I read a few things about it, and I like things that are a little bit on the edge. And it was on the Power Station tour, actually. Michael Debar was approached to write a track for the film, along the lines of Obsession, the song Obsession, and he asked me about it. I said, yeah, let's do it. And it was like that, really. It kind of fell into place. And I'd rather do something for a film like that than a Rambo. I don't think that's really me.
Do you ever see yourself contributing in ways other than just musical ways to a film, acting perhaps?
I don't know. People are always asking me about that. I enjoyed, you know, getting involved with the video, getting involved to that level of like writing it and directing it. But I think I've got another, you know, few years on the pop star front, as it were. I mean, you can't do everything. So, you know, just see how the old career goes.
Now, I understand you're going to go back and do at least one more recording with Duran Duran.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Tell me about that.
Well, actually, I'm starting next week in London with Nick, and we just have to pull in everybody now. Everybody's, you know, all over various parts of the globe. But we're sorting out producers at the moment. We're going to be starting in Paris, May, which actually I'm quite looking forward to doing now, because I've done everything I wanted to do for the time being independently, and I'm looking forward to going back and sharing the responsibility a little bit more. This solo business is just too pressurized.
Do you miss the days with Duran Duran?
You mean the screams and the edge?
Sure.
No, not really. I'm doing, you know, I mean, things have to change, and I enjoy what I do. And that was then. And I'm sure that, you know, we're going to be touring next year. I'm sure it should be still a lot of fun.
Your career is enormously successful. Thanks for joining us this morning.
My pleasure.